Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube world, what is poppin', lockin', and what is dropping? I want to welcome every single one of you to the journey, to the channel, and most specifically to this video. So I wanted to start off by saying I want to welcome all the new subscribers we've been getting here in the past couple weeks. Welcome to the journey, welcome to the channel, and welcome. I am GTI, but my name is Steven, and I wanted to create this video for a specific reason. So a quarter of the year was at the end of March, early April. So I'm a little bit late on this, but I want to start introducing quarterly journal entries throughout the channel and throughout the journey. So specifically, we're just going to be talking about the past, the present, and the future of the journey and the channel itself. Specifically, more on the journey than the channel, but there's going to be a couple updates in there moving forward with both. So I wanted to start over more on the past, and so we're going to be talking about more of two things in general, just the overall health. So that includes weight, the macros, the diet, and just my water intake and so on, hydration. And then the other one part is going to be more focusing on the exercising. So that's the weightlifting, the running, any kind of events that might be coming up, and so on and so forth. So I say let's go ahead and get this party started, baby. So we're going to start going over the past here. If you guys do remember, I did upload a introduction video to this channel. Now that was January 5th. Now for everyone who's new, journey technically started in July 4th of 2024. I didn't start this. I started the channel this year, but the journey started in July of 2024. I was 236 pounds then, heaviest I've ever been, and a lot of it impacted me quite personally, and it was definitely impacted me, costing me a lot of friends, even costing my family. It was just a lot of mental things that I definitely needed to take care of. So, and one of the answers to that problem was to lose the weight. So, I said, again, July 4th of 2024, and I started with diets. I saw a health specialist, and I did take Mounjaro for about 2 months. So I was on Mounjaro from August all the way to October, mid-August, and I also found out that I was gluten intolerant, and apparently I'm also allergic to hickory. So every time I have any kind of hickory smoked things, my stomach gets super, and it hurts really bad. And yeah, it's not. So no gluten, no hickory smoked things. Like applewood smoked is fine, but and so I was 236 pounds then. Now, when I made the video on January 1st, I actually weighed 207 pounds. But the lightest I've ever been before I started making the journey was 200.6 pounds. And when November, December came along, I actually gained about 12 pounds back. So I started the journey again a little bit in late December, and I went from 212 to 207, and that's when I uploaded my first video. It was when I weighed 207 pounds. Now I weigh 195. So seeing that, okay, it was only a pound loss versus back then, technically it's 40 pounds. So I did kind of want to introduce just because otherwise, so far I've lost 10 pounds in the past 4 months. Doesn't seem that great when it comes to weight loss journey, but at the same time, we have been improving a lot more than just the weight loss in general. And I'll get that into a little bit. So, the diet did the keto diet when I was on my Mounjaro journey as well. So that was for about 2 months. I ate pretty much nothing but protein, healthy fats, and fiber. So maybe a good example of my diet would be a frozen salmon fillet that would heat up, and then I would eat it with leeks and spinach, but the leeks would be cooked in oil and butter, same with the spinach. So it was a super fatty, but it was all healthy fats, as well as high in protein, no carbs whatsoever. Besides the vegetables being carbs, of course. So, but now we got more into trying to go more for a lower calorie diet after that ended, or basically when I started my channel back up, that's when I started going to the lower calorie diet. So, but regarding we've actually been on a plateau here since March. So, I did make a short reaching to 198.9, or that was the day when I reached under 200 pounds finally. That was a super big day, by the way. That was March 3rd, I want to say. But we've been stuck on 190, upper to mid 190s here since March, and we're going into May. So we've been on this plateau here for about 2 months. I have been lowering my calories here a little bit then and there, but at the same time, I have been overeating. So try to figure out why that is, or at least I need to figure out why that is. And so we're gonna kind of go to the present and then the future of the channel as well, and the journey, not just the channel, but then more of the journey. So, and then on to the exercise and the hydration as well. We've been consuming more water, which is great because water has not been a great thing for me to consume in general. So we've been increasing on water intake as well, and so we've been doing better with that. So the go over is the macros, the protein. I think recommended before because I was using HitMeal for my app tracker or my app tracking device, and then had an update, completely wiped all my data out, so I had to switch to macro factor. So before I was consuming like 220 grams, I'm only consuming like 168. So the carbohydrates stay at the lower 200s, usually goes from like 180 to 200 the carbohydrates, and then the fat, we usually keep it around the 70 to 80 range with grams of fat. So my fat intake has not been that high, but there are some times where my fat, like if I have salmon dinner or whatever, my fat typically tends to go up. So, well, yeah. And then a lot of the recipes that I make as well that have been uploaded to the channel that really helps with the weight loss and fitness in general. So it's definitely something to incorporate that into well. So now I'm going to go over the exercising portions of it. So my routine before the 5, 10, 15. So basically it was the you do a weight that you can do 5 pounds with, or 5 reps with, and then you do one that's 10 reps, and then a weight that's for 15 reps. So I would generally, what I would do is I would find a weight that's good for 10 rep, and then as I feel comfortable doing that, then I would multiply the 10 rep weight by 1.5 to get my 5 pound weight, and then I would multiply my 10 rep weight. Oh man, I can't talk. I would multiply it by, and that's how I would get my 15 rep. So I've been doing that, and I've noticed that I've been on a cut diet, but on a bulking exercise routine. So that is something I've been doing in the past, and that definitely needs to be fixed. So now let's jump a little more into the present. So with everything going on, again, my weight is 195 pounds. So, and we've been stuck between the 198 and 195 the past couple months as well. And we definitely need to do something about that. And I think what I'm going to plan on doing is sticking with the lower calorie intake. Assuming that's going to be around 21 to 2,300 calories. I know a range isn't a great idea because macro factors recommended me 2273. I think I actually dropped 3 calories this week, which I thought was a little funny. But and up screen basically what macro factors me throughout the weeks. Macro wise, but and then the exercises, I think we're going to go ahead and also change the routines. So we're not going to go to a 5, 5, 15. We're actually going to do 3 to 4 sets of 15 reps. So this way it's more a cardio influenced workout versus a strength building, because I feel like I was in a deficit, so I got a cut diet, but when am I exercising, I've been on a bulk exercising. So I feel like I wasn't consuming enough calories to put on what I needed to do for the weight loss journey. And I feel like I was more bulking because I noticed throughout my journey, I get a lot of compliments that I've gotten bigger, right? Like I've gotten more per se. And not more, oh, you slimmed down. More is like, oh, you've gotten bigger, which not necessarily a bad thing, of course. And that's something that it's nice to say. Although my goal is not really to get big, I really want to lean. And so I've been more training, and I'm kind of used to myself training for getting bulkier. And my calories, when I consume them, do not really match up to what my exercise and my goals are. So I've influenced more cardio into my workouts. So I'm going to be going back to running like a mile or something, like walking, running, although I absolutely hate the treadmill. But I do want to get to running because there's going to be more things coming up in the future that I'm going to partake to, which involves me running. So keep that in mind. So we're going to be changing up the routines. We're going from the 5, 10, 15, and we're going to move over to the 15 or 3 to 4 sets of the 15 rep. So I did start with week 16's workouts, and I think for the foreseeable future, we're going to be moving forward with that just until we can figure out a plan when the half comes up or anything wants to change for so on. So yes, but I also wanted to kind of show this. This is a suit that I had. This is a 3-piece suit, right? And I had when I first was like the 236 pounds. And I'm wearing it, and I'm stretching it out. I mean, this, I think like a 44. The paper at waist 38. And the vest, I think, was an extra large. So that's me wearing it now. If I wear that in public, I'll look like a clown. So, but yeah, it's kind of you don't realize how much weight you've lost or how much of your body has changed until you put on old clothes like this, and it's mind-boggling. So it's something to clean out my closet, because the thing about weight loss is you have to clean out your closet because you have all these big clothes, right? And you want to you got to wardrobe up. You want to get clothes that are tighter. Now this is actually a double XL shirt, but I wear it because it's super comfortable. Like, as you can see here, I mean, it's just right here. Here, I got so much. I mean, this is like pulling, really making these stretches on it. I mean, you can see it's huge. Like, I can jump off a building and probably land properly if I didn't have these holes on the side, because it is just a ginormous shirt. It is a double XL, but it's something I would wear and I feel comfortable with back in the day. Now I wear it for comfort, but it is just, I mean, it's a blanket at this point. I think if I pull the shirt down on a way, it goes to like halfway of my or my thighs. So, but yeah, journey, I was on the verge of being a double XL, and my waist size was a 38. Now I am a medium shirt. I wear medium shirts out in public, and I have a waist size of a 32. So definitely improved. Now I'm 40 trimmed down in general, but the weight isn't really much all that you should be focusing on anyways with your journey. You should really be focusing on your sizes and your sculpture, and how you look, as well as how you feel. I mean, I would and suffer because of the heat when I was bigger. But now I go outside and I actually enjoy like 80, 85 degrees. The cold is a whole different story. I was shivering my butt off. I usually would never get cold when like it hits like the 40, 50, but now I freeze. Like, I have to wear a sweatshirt in like 60-degree weather. So that is some things to notice as well. And another thing kind of pointed, which is kind of interesting, but it's also kind of sad to realize that a lot of people start recognizing you when you lose the weight in like a good way. I would never be approached in public that often, but ever since I started getting more of a physique to myself, it seems like people come up to me and start talking to me, and it's something I'm not used to, and it throws me off, right? I'm like, okay, what? And so it's kind of one of those situations that it's kind of sad to think about, because you shouldn't be judging people how they look. If they, they're or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're always sad and they're a loser. Or whatever people think of, and how social media incorporates bigger people now these days. You should always be respectful and kind to people in public, just because of how you approach and how you look. If you want to be generally an asshole when you go out in public, then you're just going to look like an asshole in general. Remember, you could be a 10, but your attitude could also make you a 2. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube world. Another thing I wanted to kind of go over present as well is the change of channel. So moving forward, we are not going to be a weight loss channel anymore. We're actually going to be a fitness journey channel. So with the weight loss, again, I think we're at 20 pounds away from the goal that I want to be, which is 175. But at the same time, the weight loss isn't the most important thing. The most important thing here is the fitness aspect of it. So just the overall health, improving on a lot of things physically as well as mentally. So if anything, it should be a health journey, but again, we are focusing more on fitness here, so we're going to stick with fitness. Because mentally, it's helping me out mentally as well. So, but yeah, but hopefully channel will also inspire every single you guys. If you want to hop onto a fitness journey yourself, and these videos, I want them to help inspire everyone to go ahead and get the growth now. I know there's like issues of people on roller coasters, or maybe they take up more than one seat on the air, whatever, and it's very uncomfortable when you're sitting next to someone, So that's I've always suffered with too, because I started flying with the job that I have, and I mean, when I was bigger, sitting on airplanes was absolutely awful. Now I still hate flying to this day, but since I've lost a lot of this weight. Now, unfortunately, I do have bigger shoulders, so it's kind of like, you can, right, but it's still uncomfortable sitting, because you're sitting like this and you have this big shoulder span, and then you're still like, all right, well, I don't really have room here. But roller coasters could be the same way, but I think roller coasters a lot better now. Planes are more comfortable to sit in. I mean, just sitting is a lot better. I can move around more. I have more room to kind of do stuff. And, I mean, heck, and I'm a bicep. Pop a bicep there, and you're like, oh, damn, you're looking pretty good here, It's just feeling better about yourself at the end of the day. If you feel a lot better with the way you look through a fitness journey, then you're obviously doing something right. And that should be the end goal here with fitness journeys, because if you're not happy with the way you look, then it's an idea to go ahead and do something about it, right? You're the how you look. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting help, because I had help before, and now I kind of want to do everything on my own. But I started, back when people start at 350, some people start at 600. You got to start somewhere, and you may not know what to do at first. Like, I didn't know what to do, so you just do research and you go to professionals for help. Now, I'm not saying I'm a professional whatsoever. I just want to share my journey with the world, just to kind of help motivate people. They want to start the journey, nothing wrong. But yeah, so continue on with the fitness journey, as well as recaps. So recaps is something that I just don't like doing. Like, I hate editing. I hate uploading them, because I always do them on a Sunday, and Sunday is like my prep day, my rest day. It's also my grocery shopping day, so I film my grocery haul videos and so on. So everything just kind of compiles. Yeah, I do the grocery hauls on Saturday, but Saturdays are also the days where I like to do a bunch of events and so on. And also, I do some of my gym days on Saturdays. So it gets kind of confusing. And I think the recaps in general are just like not there. So definitely something to push for with the recaps. By the way, speaking of recaps, I'll go ahead and put the weights over here for week 15 and 16, because we're going to be going on to, and when I upload this video, it's going to be week 17 when I upload this video. And then I think the day after I upload this video, we're going to be on the grocery haul. So just so I don't stack videos on top of each other on the same day. I don't know, because I do have a concert to go to tonight. So today is electric for me. So I'm actually on my lunch break for lunch right now. So my lunch break from work, not from lunch. What am I saying? God, I can't talk. That's pretty much what's going on for the present, though. But now moving on to the future of the journey and the channel. So we're still focused on weight loss, of course. Now, I think my new short-term goal here is to hit under 190, so maybe at least 189 by the time the half check-in comes in. Now, the half check-in is the end of July. So I basically have 2 months to try to get under 190, which people, it seems like it's not that difficult, but as you get closer to your weight goal and your recommended like weight and so on, it gets really difficult, because that means you have to cut your calories even lower. And I don't want to be to the point where I'm starving myself either. I know there's like filler meals and stuff, but at the same time, you can't just like, for someone who eat like myself, you can't just say, hey, just stop eating. It's kind of telling a smoker to stop smoking. It's not going to work like that. It sucks having addiction, okay? It just sucks. So I want to be under 190 by August. So that's going to be a new short-term goal, the long term 75, but I want to be under 190 by August. So that's something I want to push in there. So with the exercising portions of it, though, I did want to kind of squat 225 routines here. I'm going to be like 135 for 45 reps. Strength training is not really going to be there, but I think when I hit my 175, I think I'm going to go more towards strength training, and so I'll incorporate more of like eating more on, and I may try to get some more help on that, maybe like hire a coach, something to kind of help with training of it. But I do want to keep the weight loss portion of it to cut out. So, but I do want to, I didn't know this camera had a limit. I think it was 20 minutes for the limit. But I did want to, I lost my train of thought now. Crap. Hold on. I did want to hire someone, maybe just more to the strength training. But again, we'll get that closer. Now, I should be 175. If not, then I have failed every single one of you. But more importantly, I failed myself. But we're definitely still going to be shredding. We're still going to be going. We're still going to be popping, locking, and dropping for sure. So we're definitely that. Now, for future, that's more of our exercising. There are a couple events that I'm going to be looking forward to. So the first one's going to be in the beginning of June, and that's a 5K. So that's half of a 10K. So a 5K is 3.1 miles, I want to say. So that is an event my work is hosting, and I'm just going to partake in that. So I don't know about doing like half marathons or anything yet, because the 10K was definitely quite a challenge for me. But I believe a 5K shouldn't be as bad for that either. So I feel like I could run 3.1 miles fine. I did it during the 10K. I ran about 3 miles, and then I was like, okay. And then another thing also to look into would definitely be more of an event happening in October that I'm maybe considering doing that is a Spartan race. So I did partake in the Tough Mudder back in the day, and I absolutely loved it. The problem is they don't really come to Virginia. So I think now we're definitely going to move forward. I think we're going to try a Spartan race out, but that's in October. I just did not realize how expensive they are just to wear yourself out. So I believe that's October 25th, and I think that's going to be somewhere in Northern Virginia. So I'm going to be doing that. Now I do want to get a new camera. It's more like a tinier vlog camera. So I know there's the handheld ones that you can like move the head around and so on. There's one I really want, but the problem is it doesn't have an external mic. And for my week 15 workout videos, as you can tell, it's not the greatest not having a mic because you have a bunch of background noise and you have the speakers playing copyright music and so on. So it gets kind of frustrating when you kind of with all that kind of stuff. So you need to get a better mic because I gotta find something that's pretty small and handheld, as well as could be waterproof. So per se, run the Spartan race, I can to myself and just run through. And I do like that little tiny camera though, but the problem is when I bring it into the gym and then I record myself on it, a very unfortunate thing to where I'm gonna be hearing everything else around me. So and it can only help me so much with removing voices. So trying to make me sound louder and so on. So that's pretty unfortunate for that. But those are a couple things for the future. It's kind of like my first one, so I'm rough drafting this, but at the same time, I want all my videos to be natural. I want all my videos to be just saying what I'm saying. Nothing's really scripted because I am not a script writer. um, I'm just a tech support guy. So pretty much wraps up the I think moving forward, we're definitely going to be focusing more on the fitness aspect of it. And so I hope that this video in general kind of explain, especially to all my new subscribers and new viewers, kind of the channel, how it's going to be. I think looking for the future, how it was in the past. And yeah. But that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate every single one of you for joining into this video, joining into the channel, and I welcome you to the fitness journey as we continue on. Weight, better looks, better muscle gain, better running. We're here to improve even mentally. But I'll catch you guys on whatever I upload next. I hope every single one of you have a wonderful rest of your day.